Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, it's Dave. It's 2024, and it's yoga class number 139. So, nearly 3 years of these now. Wow, 3 years. And I've got my little yin and yang symbol on there. I love that. I always like seeing that. So, I hope you're all doing well. I've got the comments bar on at the moment, it's here, just there. So, feel free to put in any comments here at the start or as the class goes on. I generally don't look at it because I don't like to break the flow up too much. But yeah, if you've got anything to say, feel free to use that facility. And thank you to the Virtual Village Hall, the Royal Voluntary Service, for all of the amazing work that they continue to do. And hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun in 2024, but also maybe a little bit more on the contemplative side as well, just to see where we are and to see how our yoga guides us along in this crazy world that we live in. And if you've made it this far right now, in this moment, or maybe on catch up, then congratulations. It's always a victory, right? Every time you make it onto your mat, it is a victory. And I don't mean that by going, oh, it's just yoga, Dave. Don't make a big thing about it. It is a big thing, right? To commit to your personal evolution, right? Your transcendence from one thing to another, whatever that may be. To make it this far is amazing. So I'm just, bow down to that and say, well done, everybody, especially at the start of a new year. And new years and new beginnings, and we get into this this trap sometimes of going resolutions. I'm going to do this. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to, and we go crazy for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the year, and then it all begins to diminish, and we end up in the summer going, oh yeah, I did yoga a few times. It didn't really do what I needed it to do. So if you're new, then welcome. If you've been practicing with me a long time, then welcome back. And just to be in this position here, seated or on a chair or whatever, that's the practice, right? That's yoga. There's nothing else really that we need to do, right? Probably sit for a little bit of time, pay attention to our breath, a little bit of awareness into our body, our mind, and then we can just go on. But, yoga works on lots of different levels, and the physical benefits. And what are the physical benefits? Well, maybe we get a little bit stronger, maybe we get a little bit more flexible, we move our body a little bit more freely. That's just the cherry on the cake, right? That's the icing, that's the good stuff, right? But the real meaty kind of parts that kind of really help us change and see our patterns are just the arriving and being on our mat, right? And it's not about all of the other stuff, even though they're very, very beneficial to us. Just be, and just keep showing up. So if there's one thing that I will say to you at the start of the year, for the first class of the year, is commit to your practice, whatever your practice is. And that might be with me, or it might be with another teacher, or it might be lots of different things that you do. Maybe it's going out for a walk in the mornings, if that's something you can do easily. Do that. Walking is your superpower. Walking is incredible. Or just any gentle exercise, getting some vitamin D, especially this time of year, and kind of breaking those kind of habits of, like, if you're anything like me sometimes, I'm stuck here. I'm in Instagram again, looking at nonsense that doesn't serve me, stressing myself out, Try and get away from those devices. And connect here at your heart, because you're worth it, right? You are worth taking care of, and we only get one chance, right? We get one chance, and we're here for a short amount of time. So this is the time, right? This is the time to get on your mat and to commit and to be ultimately, I touch my heart when I say this, compassionate to yourself, right? Be compassionate to yourself. Treat yourself with kindness. Treat yourself how you would treat other people. And then all the amazing things flow from that moment. So today what we'll do is we'll move a little bit. We'll do a little bit of flow. We'll do kind of work into the spine. So we'll kind of look at our central nervous system. That idea that we can get quite down, and especially in the mornings. This is an afternoon class, but in the mornings is relevant, where we wake up and we feel, we're just on the verge of anxiety, and we feel a little bit low. We can cut through that any time of the day by using the breath and just doing some simple movements, and then we can just shift our perspective and kind of get on with things with a completely fresh view. So yeah, that's what we'll do today. Thank you, Irene, Jackie, Margaret, always with me. Thank you for saying hello and Happy New Year to you all. I got a new book, everyone. Here's my new book. It's, where is the camera? There. Brightening Our Inner Skies, Yin and Yoga by Norman Blair and forwarded by Sarah Powers. Norman Blair's a cool guy. I like him. I've been looking at his stuff over Christmas. By the way, I've been to Cyprus and that was amazing. I didn't do any yoga, but I did lots of walking in nature. Anyway, I can't find a picture of Norman. He's a bit like that, actually. It's not all about him. But anyway, there's some really nice readings in this book, and I bought this secondhand. So I'm going to read a little bit to you, and then we'll begin to move, shall we? So this is called The Two Wolves, and you might know it, you might have heard it, but I love it. It's got a great sentiment. The author is unknown, so it's a short reading. Here we go. An elder Native American was teaching his grandchildren about life. He said to them, "A fight is going on inside me. It's a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One wolf represents fear, anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other stands for joy and peace and love and hope and sharing and serenity and humility and kindness, benevolence, friendship, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too." They thought for a minute. And then one child asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" And the elder simply replied, "The one that you feed." The one that you feed. Oh, I like that one. And I'll probably read from this beautiful book quite a lot over the next few months. Amazing book. And yin yoga is where we hold the postures for a little bit longer, and it's a little more of a contemplative practice, but it's really beautiful, and one that I'd highly recommend if you're into yoga books, everyone. All right, okay, enough of me chatting on there. Let's move a little bit. So I'm going to go back onto my mat. I've been sat there ages, so it'll probably take me ages to move. Take anything you want with you. What would you take with you? Well, maybe you take a blanket or a prop or something like that. I think we've got enough vision on me there, haven't we? I should say. And then bring your feet out, and then just give your feet a little rub out. Maybe the soles of the feet, maybe your toes, maybe the ankles. Maybe bring your legs out long and sit nice and tall and press the whole length of your legs down into your mat. You need to support yourself with your hands. That's cool. And then just move in circles. Move your feet out. Any speed that feels good for you. Maybe come back the other way. Flex your toes. Maybe spread your toes out. Really feel that activation through your legs. Notice how your lower spine feels. And then lean back into your hands. Have your fingers pointing forward, and then bring your feet out. And then that nice simple movement which we do is just dropping the knees to either side, just freeing up the pelvis, a little bit of movement into the lower spine, into the hips, and just move at a pace that feels good for you. Maybe matching the movement with breath, and maybe being aware of your breath for the first time today. So inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Nice. And then the next time your knees are down to the right hand side, just pause here. Now you might pause here, you might go really wide with the feet, kind of soften the inner left knee down into the floor, and hopefully you feel something here in this left hip, side of the hip, the front of the hip. If you want to make it a little bit deeper, then maybe bring the right foot onto the outer edge of the left knee, and then you may feel a little bit more into your right hand side. Take a couple of breaths. Wherever you're feeling this, breathe into that space. Nice. And then unravel and then come to the other side. Maybe just your bottom and then come all the way down. And then think about that right knee, and then see if you can bring that right knee down. If you get it to about here and it's too much in the outside of this right hip, place something underneath it, maybe a rolled up blanket or a cushion or a pillow. So always have those props close by. Take a few breaths, maybe lift up through the left foot and place it on the right knee. Maybe then that left knee can come down towards the floor. You're not looking for a really big, expansive movements here, just coaxing the body open and just paying attention with that compassion, the curiosity, the 2 C's, really important parts of our yoga practice. Nice. And then unravel and then come back to center. Then we're going to do a really nice restorative pose, not for too long. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together. This is called butterfly pose. So with this one, if you feel like you're already leaning backwards, you're going to come forward. It's a nice release through the lower spine. Place something underneath your hips. Again, something rolled up, something that will tilt your pelvis forward. And then all I'm going to ask you to do is kind of bring the hands wherever feels good. I like to hold around my toes, but I'm not pulling here. And then let your head be really loose. Soften your elbows down. Nice generous bend in the arms if that's where they are. And just take some deep breaths here. Just letting the body slowly open. We're going to come back to this pose right at the end of the class, so we'll get an opportunity just to check in at either parts and see kind of what comes up and what changes for us. Take one more round of breath. And then when you're ready, really slowly, just bring the head up first. And then push yourself all the way back. And then come with your right shin in front of your left. Have a little wriggle around here. Remember, we're going to do a little twist here. So remember, you can always do twists from a seated position in a chair. So you can sit in a chair and have both soles of the feet on the floor. From here, take an inhale, sweep the arms up into the air. And then as you exhale, just twist over to your right. So your right hand will come behind, press into the fingertips, left hand on the right knee. Inhale to find length, exhale into your twist. Maybe close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Every inhale, find length. Every exhale, twist a little bit more, but not too deep. Be kind and gentle to yourself. Take one more round of breath. And when you're ready, come all the way back to center. Just take that opportunity just to stretch out through the arms. And then as you exhale, come over to the left. Find a twist that really works for you this afternoon. Never quite static, even though the movements are super small. With every inhale, allow your spine to lengthen, and then every exhale, feel the twist. Nice. One more complete round of breath. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Come all the way back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time, bring your hands to prayer. As you exhale, frame your hands to heart center. Nice. And then maybe lean back into the hands again, and then just drop the knees to either side. A little bit of movement here again. We've been sat here for a little bit of time, so I don't want you to get kind of uncomfortable. And then this time, bring your left shin in front, and we'll move through a little bit of spine and hip work. So the hands will be on the knees. I'd like you to inhale your chest forward, and then exhale, come back. So you just do a full circle in one direction. Inhale as you come here, and then exhale as you come back. So this part is all about kind of bringing the awareness to your spine. It's kind of like the super highway for your energy. So we're thinking about the whole length of our spine, all the way down the base of our spine up to the crown of our head. and just notice how your body reacts here. If you're feeling a little bit tighter, you feel like there's a little bit of restriction here, then come nice and tall and just little circles like this. That's great. Or maybe they're a little bit deeper, but there's not a lot of pressure in the hands. You know, I can bring my hands off my knees and I just guide the movement from my navel. That's where all yoga, physical yoga starts. It kind of starts from the center point of our body. Nice. When you're ready, you're going to swap this out and come back the other way. So maybe inhale back to center and then start your rotation the opposite way. Stay nice and relaxed with your face. If anything, a little smile. I'm not asking you to smile, by the way. I'm not saying smile and be happy. Because if you don't want to smile, the worst thing a yoga teacher can say is smile. But if it's in you and it's not too much effort, then maybe just turn the corners of your mouth up instead of down. But I'll leave that up to you. Nice. Couple more complete rotations. I'm grinning now. Grin if you want. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, let the breath go. Let's do one more movement here. So swap your shins out. Bring your other leg in front. And then just flex the spine just a little bit. So bring your hands onto the front shin. So they just kind of clasp. So your spine is nice and long. You inhale forward and you exhale round. Inhale forward. See my heart and my chest come through. My head remains still. I'm not moving my head. And then I exhale around my spine. So I really kind of bring my navel back towards my spine. Inhale, heart through. Exhale around the spine. So I guess you get into a little rhythm where the pelvis rocks backwards and the pelvis rocks forwards. So this is really good. If you suffer from any pain in your spine, as long as you're being gentle and you're honoring your body, then any movements like this, the one we just did and the one we're doing now, they're so good for bringing that movement in. And we're looking for reasonable effort, not too much, not too little. And we just begin to inquire into our bodies and just see what's going on, right? It ain't all about being a super yogi because there's no such thing. If you wanted to and it feels safe, then you could close your eyes. And if you close your eyes, focus here, just right in between the eyes, really soft focus. And where the focus is, that's where your energy is going to go to ultimately. Just a little bit longer, maybe another 10 or 15 seconds. And then when you're ready, take a deep inhale, maybe your deepest so far. And then just pause your breath if that feels okay. Relax your shoulder blades. Make sure there's no tension in your face. Think about your navel. When you're ready, exhale through your mouth. And then one more like that. Really nice deep inhale. And then pause your breath. We sometimes say engage root lock. So we think about underneath the navel. You kind of squeeze from the bottom of the body right up to the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, exhale. Just let your breath go. Beautiful. From here, come onto all fours. Just flip your knees over to one side. And then spread out through your fingers and bring your knees right underneath your hips. So you find yourself in this tabletop position. Nice. And then from here, just move for a few rounds of cat and cow. Just free the spine up a little bit more. So inhale, drop your belly down, let your belly spill, and then lift your head and lift your heart. And then as you exhale, round your spine, really press into the hands and separate your shoulders. So that's your movement. Inhale here, spine is long, head and heart lift. Exhale, chin tucks in, navel tucks in, round into your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep the arms nice and long. Don't move the hands. Keep the arms as straight as they can be. Maybe just do a couple more. And inhale, come all the way back to center. Take a full exhale when you're ready. And then split your knees wide, bring your big toes together, and then just come into child's pose. So you're just going to bring your sit bones back towards your heels. Maybe stretch your arms out in front. And just melt your heart space down towards the floor. There can be some little movements here. Or maybe you just opt for that softness and just letting everything melt. Nice deep inhales, full releasing exhales. Remember, you can always stack your head on your hands, maybe a block or a pillow, a blanket. Spend a little bit of time here just to let everything release. And then when you're ready, come all the way back onto all fours. Nice. And then stretch your right leg back. And then press into your right toes. So you feel that engagement in the bottom of your foot, maybe into your calf. And then just rock backwards and forwards. Nice. Beautiful. Soften the top of the left foot down onto your mat. So that's nice and relaxed. And then just do this movement. Lift out through the right foot and place it behind the left foot. So your right toes somewhat near the bottom left corner of your mat. Press into the whole length of that right leg. Maybe look down the left shoulder. Feel that outer hip stretch on the right hand side. Breathe really deeply here. Where do you feel it? Nice. When you're ready, we're going to just bring that right foot back up and keep it lifted. And maybe look down the right leg and make sure your right toes are pointing down towards the floor. Maybe stretch the left arm forward. So right leg back, left arm forward. If this feels too much, then come back to all fours. Take a few breaths there, or follow me with this move. Take one more round of breath if you're in this sunbird position. And then when you're ready, exhale, bring everything down. Beautiful. Really nice. Circle out the hips, big circles. Don't worry about it or think about it too much. Then bend into the elbows. Come back the other way a few times. Nice, beautiful. And then come back to all fours and then we'll swap that out. So first of all, just press into the left leg, left toes, rock backwards and forwards very gently. Notice what happens to the wrists as you do that. Make sure there's not too much tension there. Really spread out through your fingers. And then you can step that left foot to the bottom right corner of your mat. Feel the engagement through the calf, maybe right up into that left hip. And then maybe look down the right shoulder and you'll feel it a little bit more in the outer left hip here. Nice. When you're ready, inhale, bring the leg back to center. Toes are pointing down, and then maybe sweep the right arm forward. Take one more round of breath. And as you exhale, bring everything back down onto the mat. So from here, keep the knees and the hips stacked. So you want your hips to be right above your knees. And then we're going to come into melting heart pose. So just walk the hands forward a little bit more, maybe off your mat. Stretch the fingertips out. And then slowly bring the forehead down onto your mat. And then if that feels good, then maybe begin to melt your heart space down a little bit further towards the floor. So you feel this in your upper back and your shoulders. You can be a little bit of flex in the spine. If it feels too much in the arms, then bring the forearms down onto the floor. We won't be here for too long, so just experiment what feels good for you. No strain in the back of the neck. Sometimes it's nice just to widen the arms a little bit. Loads of room to breathe into. Think about breathing into the belly, but also right into the upper back, in between the shoulder blades. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly coming out of this very gently, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders or near there, press into the hands, and then you can lift the forehead off the floor. Beautiful. Nice. Fantastic. Move through 3 more rounds of cat-cow just to get the spine moving again. And then come all the way back to center. Tuck your toes. And then come into your first downward facing dog. There might be a lot of these. So maybe keep a big generous bend in your knees and lengthen your spine right up towards the ceiling. Hips are high, head is loose. Breathe it out here. Just a couple of breaths. Maybe you just give the head a little shake. Nice. And then when you're ready, bend the knees and hinge the hips. Look between your hands and come to the top of your mat. Any way that feels good for you. I first step my right and my left up, but you might do it differently. When you arrive, go really wide with the feet. Make sure your feet are lined up with the long edges of your mat. And then just hang down here. It might be that you're not even looking to touch the floor. That's not the point. Make sure you hinge at the hips. And a generous bend in the knees will protect your spine, and it will slowly work into your hamstrings. Nice, beautiful. From here, we're just going to draw ourselves up to the flattish back anyway. So when you're ready, inhale, draw your hands right up onto your knees. And then as you exhale, fold in deep. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. 2 more times. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up high and wide. Come all the way up to stand. And then as you exhale, frame your hands to heart center. Nice. Moving through a little bit of flow. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, come all the way down. Inhale, re-lengthen, come up halfway. And then exhale, hands down, set 1 foot back, then the other. And then just take a nice deep inhale and lengthen into your first plank. Remember, you can drop the knees here, or you can stay high with the knees lifted. Nice and strong here through the arms, spread out through the fingers. On your next exhale, everyone drop the knees and lower down onto your belly. And then really gently press the tops of the feet to the floor. And inhale, just raise the chest a tiny bit. Keep your elbows tucked in, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart, and come into cobra. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes and see if you can shoot the hips back and come into downward facing dog. Nice, where we'll take 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and hinge your hips, look between your hands, and then gently bring yourself to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice, beautiful. All right, let's go again. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. This time you're just going to step the right leg back. So if you need to, we're going to drop the right knee. So if you need to pad that out, grab a blanket or a cushion, and then gently place the right knee down. And then just come up in stages, make a basket grip over the left leg. We just come into this high lizard lunge. Make sure the left knee and the left ankle are lined up. Engage into the top of the right foot. Shoulder blades nice and relaxed. And you're not quite static here. So every inhale, just think about lifting from your navel. And every exhale, just sink a little further into the hips without moving that left knee too much. So hopefully you'll feel this in the front of this right hip flexors. And spending a little bit extra here can really benefit opening the parts of the hips that get very tight just from our daily activities. Nice, beautiful. When you're ready, take an inhale. This time, sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, bring the hands all the way down. Frame the left foot. And then tuck the toes on the right and see if you can step the left foot back to meet it. Inhale to find some length. Exhale, drop your knees lower all the way down to the floor. And then inhale, scoop the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. Maybe come up a little higher this time. And then exhale, tuck the toes into your downward facing dog. When you're ready, let's not pause. Let's go all the way to the top of our mat. So step your feet forward. Maybe it's 6, 8 steps. Maybe it's a couple. Doesn't matter. When you arrive, line your feet up. Really nice habit to get into. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale to fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up high and wide. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then let's match that up on the other side. Inhale, stretch up, a little hint of a back bend now, maybe hip points and forward. Exhale, hinging down, and then stepping your left leg back. Again, if you need to pad it out, go for it. And then place the hands clasped over the right thigh. And then just check your alignment. If you feel a bit wobbly, if you need a little bit more room in your hips, just go wider with the feet, back foot and front foot. You don't have to be still here. I always like to kind of relax my shoulders and then think about inhaling and then exhaling as I sink in just a little bit deeper. Breathe in deeply and just working out where you feel this. Nice. A couple of breaths with the arms stretched above the head if that feels good. A little bit more balance. And then when you're ready, bring the hands down. And then this time, tuck the toes on the left foot and then see if you can just bump the left foot up to meet the right. And just step it up. Realign your feet if they need to be. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale to fold. Root down into the feet. Inhale, final time, come to stand. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Nice. Just one tiny little bit of balancing before we come down and really relax the class. All right, I'm just going to get out of the light a little bit. Yeah, I'll come here. I'll come a little bit further forward. All right, so remember we're balancing. Practice is really important. If we don't practice it, then what generally happens is we lose that ability. It becomes a lot harder, like anything. So we're balancing. Gaze point is important. We call it a drishti, and the way I think about it is I will focus on one spot or one area, and I won't I won't move my gaze from that area. Now, if my eyes are moving around, it makes it so much harder. So we're going to root down through our right foot first of all, really spread out through your right foot, and then bring your hands onto your hips. And remember, you can always do this. You can always hold on to something. If you're near a wall and you think your balance isn't great today, that's cool. Or you can just do it independently. And then if you wanted to, you can hug that left knee in. So you're standing on the right foot and you're just hugging the left knee in. Find a point of balance. If there's some wobbling, that's all good. And then when you're ready, just bring your leg down and give it a good shake out. Nice. And then come into the left foot. And then again, find your gaze. Really engage through that left leg. Hands are on the hips. Maybe stay here. Maybe hold on to a wall somewhere. Maybe just the fingertip will help you. Maybe make a grass basket grip around the right knee and hug the right knee in. And breathe it out. If you wanted some more practical tips on balancing, then I did a video for the We Are Undefeatable week where you can watch me brushing my teeth on one leg in my bathroom. And they're all online. Check them out. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring that right leg down. Give both legs a good shake out. Give the fingers and the arms a little shake. Maybe shrug the shoulders. And then we're going to come back down to a seated position. Really lovely wear. I'm going to sit over a bolster. You don't have to do that. You can sit in a chair for this next part. Sit on your settee if that feels good. Just make sure you're comfortable. Nice, everyone. Beautiful. All right. Little bit of movement through the neck. So make sure your palms are up, your palms can be down, but just make sure your shoulders are relaxed. And then just begin to draw circles with your nose. Pick a direction. You just circle the head out. Nice and soft through the jaw. Try not to lose your breath. Maybe inhale as the head comes up. Maybe exhale as the chin comes down. Nice time just to swap it out. Come back the other way. Any areas in the neck that really interest you, then maybe you just pause and breathe into them. Nice. And then when you're ready, inhale your head all the way back to center. And exhale. All right, we're just going to do a little bit of breathing through one nostril. So we're going to isolate one nostril off. So block off your left nostril. You can use your right hand or your left hand. It doesn't matter which finger, or if you use a thumb. Maybe just, I'm going to use my right hand and just reach across and block off my left nostril with my middle finger. And then inhale through your right nostril. Exhale through your right nostril. So that's going to be the pattern, in and out through the right. Do one more complete round on the right. And then maybe just swap that out. So maybe block off the right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your left. Exhale through your left. There's your pattern, inhaling left. Exhale left. And then inhale through the left. And then close off the left with your ring finger, and then exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Gently close off the right with the thumb, exhale through the left. Inhale in left. Close off left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close it off, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. And then just bring whatever hand you had up, maybe it's your right, bring it down onto your legs, onto your knees. If your eyes are closed, maybe just keep them closed just for the final few rounds of breath, where you're breathing through both nostrils, and check in with the effects of your practice. Beautiful. Then if your eyes are closed, then gently come with your eyes open. Just rub your hands together at heart center. Create a load of heat in between your palms. Nice. And then reclose your eyes. That feels safe. And then bring your palms over your eyes, and then quickly blink your eyes open. Rotate the eyes a couple of times one way, a couple of times the other. Maybe you feel the heat of the palms on your eyeballs. And then just give yourself a little massage out. Maybe start with your forehead. Maybe move into your temples, your cheeks, maybe your ears, maybe your jaw and your neck, maybe your nose. Little soft touches here. Nice. And then eventually come with your hands at your heart and pressing your thumbs into your sternum. And just have a wholehearted bow, recognizing the efforts that it's taken today to get onto your mat, to commit to your practice. And with a wholehearted bow, wishing yourself well, wishing everybody else well. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. It's nice to be back today. Nice to be teaching you guys. First one of the year. Let's see how many we can do together. There was a saying that I read the other day, and it said, sudden substantial shifts are rarely sustainable. Sudden substantial shifts are rarely sustainable. So be gentle with yourself, especially in these first few weeks of the year. It's cold and it's wet and it's damp outside. And it's it can be, don't try and get into that routine of just doing loads and then wearing yourself out. The book is this one here, Brightening Our Inner Skies, Yin and Yoga by Norman Blair. Check it out. It's really beautiful. Lots of there's Norman. Oh, there he is on a beautiful parquet floor. It's nice. There's lots of images and nice readings and tips for how to get into poses, and there's a whole series of classes in there. And I was going to say it's a lot more than yoga, but it is yoga, right? Everything's yoga. We just look at the physical practice more than anything. So yeah, that's it, everyone. Thank you, Jackie. I'm glad that you joined, and thank you, Karen. Thank you, Irene, Margaret. It's lovely to see you all, and I'll be back next week, probably here. Whatever you're doing, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all next week. And thank you to the Virtual Village Hall for hosting, because they're legends and I love them. Thank you. All right. See you later. Bye.